if you're trying to report somebody with therapy, like it doesn't work, except if you're, saying, okay.
What approach do you take with working with couples, and what specific service do you actually provide?
So like I said, we do individual therapy, we do couples therapy. So the first thing is when a client approaches us, we have the first consultation talk where we get to know what exactly it is. And for most times, if the individual is the person that, needs our services, then we work directly with the individual. But now it gets tricky when it has to be a couples therapy, because in most cases when it's a couples therapy, the couple that is coming obviously is ready, but the other couple that is not coming obviously would have a difficult time getting them there. And also, it's also as a result of how, even the individuals see couples therapy. So there's always a mindset of, come, I'm reporting you here, come and get punished here. Like, if you did this, your punishment is going to therapy. So that doesn't help as well, because if you're trying to punish somebody, if you're trying to report somebody with therapy, like it doesn't work, except if you're, saying, okay, let's go and do this together, let's go and, help ourselves, let's go and get to know more about what's going on with our lives. But mostly they don't have that approach. So we have to, give them that orientation. And in most cases, it doesn't really work, for the other partner, because they are hurting. They feel like, oh, so you're reporting me to a therapist who you found, So yeah. So in that situation, we deal with the individual alone, and then hoping that, from what we've done, the other partner would, to relate better to this version of them, and eventually probably that would help them to improve that situation that they are in, or that will convince the partner to, come on board. And sometimes it does work for us, but in situations where we are privileged for the partner to also, join us in the session, like it's the most beautiful thing, because now you get to, sit down and hear the two versions of the story, the truth of the husband, the truth of the wife. And it's really powerful because there's so much that you don't know when you're handling a couples therapy from just one person's perspective. It's just their truth against the truth of the other person. And like I always tell clients, like every situation is just like a 6-9 analogy, right? So your truth is your truth, and their truth is their truth as well, and their truth does not take away your truth, and vice versa. So yeah, I think one of the challenges that we have is individuals, calling their spouses for therapy as a form of, punishment, or as a form of, just come and hear that you are wrong and I'm right. But if people can approach it in a form of, come, let's do this work together, and not necessarily when things are bad, therapy should not only come to your mind like when things are really, really bad. You can start when things are okay and you want to improve it, or you want to learn like healthy ways to, continue to navigate your relationship, because no one knows it all about, healthy ways of navigating relationships at each level of your marriage. It's a different version of yourself is being revealed, and if you're on a personal growth journey and your spouse is not, it's also a threat to your relationship, right? So sort of you have to pay attention to all of these things if you really want to have a balanced relationship.
Yeah, I completely agree. The last point you just made, I think that's really, really powerful, and I would please like you to elaborate on that a little bit, which was if you're on a personal growth journey and your partner is not, and that the dangers that can pose to the relationship, is that something you can actually elaborate on a little bit?
Yeah, so I will do that. You know how when you're with somebody, you want to relate on so many level. You want to relate intellectually, you want to relate,
Mm-hmm.
sort of on your emotional needs, you want to relate on your physical needs and all of that. So when you are in this phase in your life where things are going fast for you, and you're so into self-awareness, you're into like self-progress, you're into all of these things, and it's just like by yourself and for yourself, and your partner is stuck where they are, they are not into all of these things. Now there's a gap between the two of you. You no longer have same priorities, you no longer have same vision, and it's really going to cause a threat to your relationship. because as a couple, you're supposed to have this, you're supposed to be on the same journey, you know, even though your journeys are going to be unique to your individuals, but everyone has to be on that same journey of growth, of advancement, and all of that. So now, if there's that imbalance where your partner is not into that and you are into that, resentment can start kicking in, where they can start feeling that you're doing better than them, or you always have different opinion from what they have. you know they can start feeling insecure as well, start feeling inferior, that because you feel you're so up there or whatever. And this is not peculiar to a particular gender, it can be anybody. If you're a woman and you know your man is advancing and is growing and you're just where you are, then you start feeling like he's sucking out your life. He's just growing at the detriment of your own, growth and all of that. And you start resenting him. You no longer relate to his success as your success as a team, you
Mm.
know. And the same thing applies for a man as well. When a woman is doing very well, she's able to, advance in whatever it is that she's doing, either career wise or even personal wise. Like, he tends to not relate with her. And you can only be a couple if you can relate with each other. So if you cannot relate, then resentment can start kicking in, and that's unhealthy for any relationship.
Yeah,